today is the birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln is arguably one of the two greatest presidents we ever had. And it often gets lost in celebrations of President's Day and other things, the significance of his commitment to this country. He was committed and committed his life to the idea that all men are created equal. And he ultimately gave his life in that pursuit. His efforts dramatically changed this country, and frankly, it has also changed the world. And he became known as the great emancipator. I'd like to take a moment to share the Gettysburg Address with everybody and remind them of the efforts that he made. When he gave this address, it was on the fields of the Battle of Gettysburg in Pennsylvania, and the outcome of the Civil War was still a distant 2 years away. He said, 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as the final resting place for those who gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a great birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.